there guys, Jimmy from Glassy Gaming here, bringing you a new TF2 video, and as I'm sure you all are very aware, TF2 Competitive is coming very soon, with passes coming out very soon to people, and all the other good stuff. But I want to talk about something that involves competitive Team Fortress 2 as a whole, not just the mode, but as a whole competitive scene, and that is Valve sponsoring tournaments. Now, I'm sure this has been brought up to Valve before by pros, by competitive players, etc, and I know it's been brought up by myself and others on Reddit multiple times, and there's a reason for it. Now, if you don't know much about competitive gaming, in CSGO, they've recently announced that all majors being a huge invite, and there's usually an invite section of teams that are invited to the major, and then there's like the qualifying section of like teams that played through the qualifiers and made it through the qualifiers to get in the major. Basically, every single major that happens in CSGO will now have at least $1 million in prize money by Valve. Look at Dota 2. Same thing, except even more money. Last year, TI5, the International 5, the total prize pool was $18 million. That's not 18,000, that's 18 million. The top team, I think, went home with either 5 or 6 million. And that's amazing. Now, obviously, that's slightly different because the way that the Dota 2 International 5, prize pool worked was that it was crowdfunded. Basically, you bought compendiums, and then the money that went into the compendiums went into the prize pool. If you bought levels for your compendium, that also went in the prize pool. So a lot of people raised a lot of money along with the money that Valve was going to give the players initially. And that's why it got so high. The thing is, though, when it comes to Team Fortress 2, Valve does absolutely nothing for competitive. They do not sponsor tournaments. They do not host a prize pool. They don't do anything of the sort. One of the best ways to make competitive Team Fortress 2 a thing is to add a prize pool that is sponsored by Valve, add majors and other large tournaments that big teams can play in. Because right now, all we really have is like, I-58, Insomnia 58, or there's obviously like the ESEA and UGC, but those don't really pay out very much money at all. You really can't make a living even at a top level in Team Fortress 2. You can try and you can kind of like skirt by, I guess. And I'm not really, I'm no pro, I don't know shit. I'm just assuming from the numbers that I've seen that it's very hard to live off of, the money you make as a competitive Team Fortress 2 player, if you make any money at all, And that needs to change. These people put in so much time and effort into their gaming, and it's no different than any other job, really. You work and you work and you work and you work and you work until you are the best. That is how all competitive gaming works. And I'm really glad that Valve is doing all these great things for Dota 2 and CSGO, but they need to start doing it for TF2. Now, obviously, they may be a bit reluctant at first, but I know for a fact they're making a lot of money off of Team Fortress 2, just off of item sales and marketplace transactions and all that other stuff alone. Because of that, they need, I cannot stress this enough, they need to sponsor tournaments. Because if they don't, TF2 will end up dying. I hate to say that, and it may not die in the traditional sense of no one will ever play it, but no one will play it competitively. People will move on to other games with greener pastures and brighter horizons, and who can blame them? Who can blame a TF2 pro at the top of his game making shit money even though he's winning tournaments, moving on to say Overwatch or CSGO because there's more money in it and he's just as good at those games? Now, obviously, it's a bit harder to transition from Team Fortress 2 to another game because Team Fortress 2 is so unique in its gameplay and physics and everything else, but if you are a professional Team Fortress 2 player, you're more than likely pretty damn good at other shooter games, just based on principle alone. So it may take work to transition into Overwatch or CSGO or whatever you want to transition to, but it's possible. And if Valve doesn't step up soon and start sponsoring tournaments and putting money into the community, we'll see it fail. We will. And I don't want to see it fail. I really, really don't. I want to see the competitive scene and Team Fortress 2 as a whole flourish and grow and become this amazing monstrosity of people doing cool shit and making, you know, a living off of playing their favorite Team Fortress 2 game. You know, like, that's what I want to see. And I think Valve should want to see that too. And if they truly want their game to flourish, I know it's an old game, but you can still make it flourish. If they want to see their game grow and get better and bigger and have more people and more income for themselves, not to mention, they need to sponsor tournaments. Again, I'm no professional Team Fortress 2 player. I don't know very much about the entire scene, but I'm pretty sure that without Valve's support, competitive is going to have a real hard time, and we don't want that. We want people to want to play Team Fortress 2 competitively. This is just something that I figured would be a good topic to talk about with competitive coming out soon. And honestly, I'm very passionate about it. I want to see Team Fortress 2 grow as a game. Hopefully Valve listens to the community about this because it's important. Hope you all enjoyed listening to this, and thank you all for listening to this. Have a wonderful day and or night. GG. Peace the fuck out.